What's up, everybody? The rock and roll gangster Tony Carter is back. We gonna talk about men. We have to start keeping receipts in dealings with these females. I got a special request about us men have to start keeping receipts when having these dealings with these broads, right? I've heard Ramil Amir speak on this. Shout out to that brother. I've heard other YouTubers speak on this. The Logisphere, aka Thai City, saying that you have to start keeping receipts. Now, what do I think about that? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think we have to start keeping receipts, you know what I'm saying? Especially in this modern era in dealing with females, you know what I'm saying? Because females just start lying randomly on niggas and shit, right? Now, a lot of times though, bitches just lie just to be lying. You know what I mean? It's in their nature though to be disingenuous and dishonest and shit, right? But to circumvent all the fuck shit, you gotta start saving receipts, man. What I mean by receipts is like start saving shit that pretty much can clear you from the fuckery. Like start doing what the hoes do. Start saving text messages. Especially when you talk about like, you know what I'm saying, sex or whatever though, whatnot. But just start saving text messages. You know what I'm saying? Start saving if they leave voicemails, start saving voicemails. Um Now about recording just the if you having sex with a female, you start recording and shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it depends on what type of nigga you is, man. If you like a high earning type of guy, then yeah, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Do that. But if you're a regular smuggler guy like myself or whatever, it may not be that deep. You know what I'm saying? But I get it. You know what I'm saying? If you bring a bitch in your house or whatever, you got cameras in your room or in your house and shit. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Yeah, I get it though. A bitch might try to like steal from your crib if she sees something nice or of value or whatnot, or she wanna claim that you raped her or whatever because she mad at you and shit or whatever. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and do it though. You know what I'm saying? I guess, you know what I'm saying? That you can include that as being a receipt, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I understand that now. You know what I'm saying? Cause see, I'm from that old era. Like, I'm about to be 40, right, this year. I ain't from that era where we gotta save receipts and text messages and all that fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't from that era, but I understand that shit, that you gotta do that shit now when dealing with these hoes. I get it. To me, it's just too much work. But like I say, for you cats that like to still deal with these bitches, then hey, you gotta do what you must, you know what I'm saying? Cause a quick story, right? Couple months ago I had rekindled with this bitch and shit that I was talking to back in like 2003, right? And we was talking off and on from like '03 to like roughly like '08. You know what I'm saying? We done been with each other and shit like 5, 6 times or whatnot, right? And and I'm the type of nigga, right, where I like if you like was like in my life, you know what I'm saying, whether you a friend, family member, uh, um, a job corps student that I went to job corps with or whatever, I'm gonna like if I ain't see you in years, I'm gonna try to like find you or try to get in contact with you or just to see what's up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Even this YouTube shit, motherfuckers I ain't seen in a while on YouTube that I used to rock with. You know what I'm saying? I'll call and check up on you or just to see if you good or whatnot, right? So, this bitch, I was just like, you know what I'm saying, just seeing, you know, how she doing through social media or whatnot, or whatever, you know. I could never like get in contact with her. So I'm like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Cool. You know what I mean? And it's been a few motherfuckers, you know, homies or whatever that I couldn't just get in contact with. You know what I'm saying? To this day, you know, I just can't get in contact with them, right? It is what it is. I leave that in the hands of fate, you know what I'm saying? If I can get in contact with them or whatnot. Anyway, all of a sudden, like a couple years later, my homie, he got in contact. He knew the bitch somehow. And then I guess my homie had me on, you know what I'm saying, we would show the picture of us on Facebook or whatever. And she was like, "Oh, I know that guy. Yeah, I used to talk to him and we went together, da da da, all this goofy shit, right? Cool, whatever." And then he had told me, you know, he explained to me like, "Oh, you know, such and such, whatever, right? That's cool, whatever." And then he had us both on the phone and shit. And then me and Shorty Watt was talking and shit or whatever. And then we exchanged numbers or whatever. I got her number or whatever. Then I called her. We exchanged numbers. She like, "Call me, da 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 da." So we exchanged numbers and chopped it and then kicked it and talked about the good old times and shit or whatever, right? She had a nerve to go tell like a homegirl of hers and my boy about all the shit that she trying to make herself seem like she just this angelic being and shit. I did this and this bitch said some stupid shit though, man. Like she took my virginity. I took his virginity. You can ask him. The motherfuckers came to me like, "Hey," she said she took your. I'm like, this weak ass bitch. I met this bitch when she was like 18. I was like 21 going on 22 at the time. I was fucking since 1994. Like, I'm saying this to say this, right? The bitch was keeping old text messages between me and the bitch and shit, right? And I know what she was doing. She was probably deleting the bullshit that she was saying to me and was keeping shit that I was saying to her to try to make it seem like, oh, I was jocking her, that I had my nose up her ass. And we were just talking about the good old times and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, why is you sitting there? See, us as men, see, I was dumb on my behalf because, see, I didn't keep no receipts. I didn't keep the text messages and shit. But I always thought that was I'm just thinking that's just childish, goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bitch, you almost 40 yourself. You like 37, 38 with a kid. Like, why is you playing goofy games? Long story short, fellas, man, you keep receipts too, not just because of the severity of like, you know, of rape accusations and all that shit and all that, but just keep receipts just to clarify your name from the fuck shit. Because bitches would just lie on you just to lie on you just to make themselves seem good, man. Just to make themselves look good. They would just lie on you. Oh, he was talking about he wanted to eat my pussy last night. And then a nigga could just show and be like, "Look, bitch, I got you on cam topping me off. What the fuck is you talking about?" I had a situation like that before, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not finna go through all my situations and shit. I'm just saying that if I had receipts in the past, if I kept receipts and proof of, you know, the goofy shit that these hoes was on, you know what I'm saying? Then chiefly I can clear my name and not and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So they won't be trying to have me out here looking like a goofball or accusing me of any type of sexual misconduct with these goofy assholes. Cause oh man, bruh. Like I say, fellas, man, If y'all still gonna deal with these hoes, man, y'all better learn how to play the game as far as keeping receipts, keep your cameras on, save text messages, save voicemails. You know what I mean? That's if you still want to deal with these hoes on that type of level. You know what I mean? Especially these ratchet hood bitches and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or these trailer park freaks and shit out here. Man. I'm telling you. Because I've been accused of, back in 1997, in high school, I was accused of sexual harassment and shit. And I was a shy ass nigga in school. Like, I'm not finna sexually harass you motherfuckers and shit. Like, these bitches plot. Okay. It was a clique of us in middle school, right? 8th grade in 96. It was me, my homeboy Pat, our white homeboy Jesse, and I ain't gonna say these chicks' names, but it was 2 chicks and shit, right? And then I remember, like, second semester, they was like, Tony, we gonna get you in trouble. So I'm thinking these hoes goofing off and shit because we cool and shit. We had a big ass clique. So I'm like, what the fuck you mean and shit? You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking they joking and shit. We gonna say that you touched us and you sexually harassed us. Like, true story, like real talk. So I'm like, what the fuck are y'all hoes talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, we just gonna say this. I'm thinking they just joking and shit or whatever, right? And then, cause see, at that time, back in 1996, 97, I want to say like roughly 95, it was a big thing. Now, it was a lot of dudes going around touching on hoes, randomly grabbing on cheerleaders' asses and trying to force them into bathrooms and shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, not force, but trying to like get them to go to the little bathrooms and get under the bleachers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So the shit was going around, but us regular smuggler niggas wasn't doing that fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? We was so busy being shy and shit, or just playing the game and playing, you know what I'm saying, just chilling, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, they did this shit for a whole year, so now we in high school. And these bitches was doing this shit, though. All of a sudden, I had got a call into the principal's office on the PA. Tony Carter, come to the principal's office now. Mr. Furlow want to see you. Tony Carter, report to the principal's office. You know them loud ass PAs back in the day and shit. I don't know how they got it now and shit. But yeah, man. So I got scared. I'm like, the Undertaker is calling me and shit. So I'm like, the fuck? So I took that long ride to the principal's office, because I ain't gonna lie, I was skipping school too. So here and there. And I used to get into like I used to tee off with niggas and get into like little scuffles and arguments and shoving matches and shit with niggas and shit. So I'm thinking like, damn, man, what the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? I said, my grandma gonna kick my ass, though, if I get kicked out of school and shit. Anyway, I wish it was. Shit, I wish it was that. Because the principal sat me down, I see these 2 goofy bitches in the office and shit. And I'm like, man, what the fuck going on? Mr. Carter, such and such said that you didn't touched on them and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, flabbergasted and shit. I'm like, the fuck? And then he was like, yeah, you touching on him and you touching on da-da-da. And them girls, they like, yeah, he touching on us. And I'm sitting there, I'm like this. I'm like, are you serious? And I'm just looking at them hoes. I ain't know what to say and shit. So then the principal just kept going on and on and on. And I told the principal and shit, true story, I said, Mr. Such and such and such, look at them. Look at them 2 chicks. If I'm gonna touch on a female, don't you think I'm gonna touch on something that look better than those 2? They ugly. You think I'm finna just be going around touching on them when you got these fine cheerleaders and majorettes in school? Them little skirts and shit and dancing and twirling a baton. You think I'm finna be wasting my time touching on them 2 goofy ass bitches? And then the principal looked like he wanted to, he looked like he was like trying to like hide into his laugh and shit, because he was looking at him like, yeah, but Mr. Carter, da 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 da. So then they had, back in the day, they called closing classes. They closed my classes and shit. Just, you know what I'm saying, like a temporary suspension till I was able to bring a parent up there. So I brought my dad up there. I didn't want to bring my granny up there because who knows how she would react and shit, you know what I'm saying? And so I brought my dad in there. My granny never knew this shit though, so I told my dad, and we went up there the next day and shit. And we talked or whatever. Then I got suspended for 3 days. So I'm like, man, what the fuck? So after my 3-day suspension was up, then the principal was like, so you learned your lesson? And my father was with me. I looked at my pops. I said, I didn't do nothing. I didn't touch them. And he was like, oh, well, all you had to say was you didn't touch them, and then you probably wouldn't got your classes suspended. I said, I was saying that from the beginning, Mr. Such and Such. Oh, yeah, well, okay, Mr. Carter, well, then we're just going to resume your classes. And I'm like, that was the goofiest shit that I ever been in. See, if I would have had receipts back then, I get it. It's 1997. Niggas didn't have camera phones and shit like that back then to record stupid ass bitches and shit in they goofy ass lives. But niggas had tape recorders then. Nigga, we used to go around school rapping with our tape recorders in our hands, and then and then let each other hear each other raps and shit through voice recorder and shit. So I could have used that, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't think, because I didn't think it was gonna go that far. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm thinking these bitches was my friends. That's another reason why I don't have female friends, because bitches just do goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's not beneficial to a man. Anyway, fast forward from 1997 to 2005, me and my little cousin, we went up to the FYE and shit, right? I don't know what region y'all from, though, if y'all got an FYE down there, but up here we got a FYE and shit. And it's like a music joint or whatever and shit, you know what I'm saying? But we went to the one out in like a different city, a different township. So me and my cousins, we took the bus out there. We call it the Super FYE and shit. I went to go pick up some CDs and shit. Some what was it? Obi Trice or some whatever CDs I went. I know I picked up some old Rakim CDs or whatever too, and some Cameron shits. And then lo and behold, right, I see this bitch. She came up to me, right, and she seen me. This chick just start crying, bro, like real rap, just crying. Tears just oozing down her cheek and shit. And she gave me a hug and she was like, I'm sorry. I was on some dumb shit. I ain't mean for that shit to happen and shit. So me and Shorty we chopped it up a little bit after that though, you know what I'm saying? But she was just like, you know, I was just a dumb little bitch back then, da 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 da, you know what I'm saying? She literally said that shit, you know what I mean? She didn't mean for it to take it that far. So now, what was it? What I said? It was 2005. So I was like 22 at the time. No, 23. I was 23 at the time. So I went from, 97, I was 15, 16. Now I was 23. So it was years later. So I was in early adulthood and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't see this bitch until 2005 and shit. She remembered me and everything and shit. As soon as she seen me, she started crying and she hugged me. And my cousin was like, what the fuck? And then I explained to my cousin what had happened and shit. Woo. And he was like, damn, bro. I said, it was what it was. But long story short, though, like I say, man, start keeping receipts, man. Even if it's the most basic of basic shit, man. Just start keeping receipts, fellas, because these bitches lie. Old school out. Stay safe.